What's going on, folks? Welcome back to Charm City Heavyweights Podcast, brought to you by Grade 8 Sports Memorabilia in Parkville, Maryland. I'm the host, Matt Trigger. With me, as always, is my esteemed co-host, Josh Merrill.
What's up, Matt? Coming live from the man cave. It's lit up orange. Orioles
I,
got a win today over the Fankies. The
I hate
Stankies, whatever you want
I
to call them.
hate the
God, I hate them, bro.
sunglasses. I hate the
Batista, man,
sunglasses.
whenever,
Oh
hey,
my
man,
god!
whenever that motherfucker gets too excited, bro, he does some crazy shit. That's why I've read an article a few months ago said that the Orioles weren't going to do his pump up music anymore because every time they play like that music and flash the lights and shit, he'd like throw it 100 feet over somebody's head or throw some crazy wild fucking pitch when he gets too amped up. He threw
We
two wild pitches in a row, man.
we just did 20 minutes of pre-show,
Yes, we
and
did.
you didn't have the sunglasses on.
Yeah, I had him on last week.
I know you did, but
Yes, I
why?
did. Huh?
I'm saying why?
It's my look.
It's not. It is
Yeah, it is.
absolutely not. I hate
I
it.
like it. I love it.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, folks, welcome back to the show. We got some Orioles news to talk about. We just had our home opener today after
We always
the
win the opener, don't we, at home? I feel
yeah,
like.
we're pretty good with the home opener. We had a pretty good game. Dean Kramer,
When the Yankees took the lead, man, I was like, oh, shit.
yeah, it was a little crazy. A
Yeah,
little
but we
crazy.
got it right back. We got it right back. It was like that, and we were right ahead. It's like,
Dean Kramer had five very good innings.
yeah, sure did.
Went out in the sixth and got shellacked a little bit,
Yeah.
and then it was a back and forth game until we overcame the Yankees. And
That's the most people I've seen at Camden Yards in many years since the
I believe
playoffs.
they
I
said it
said
was over 41,000
it was
from what.
packed, bro. The standing room only was packed. The right field wall was fucking crazy packed, man. It looked like people couldn't move. Like people were in there, man. That had been loud as shit down there.
Oh, I mean, I heard it when I was driving home. It was fucking rocking down there, and so was Pickles Pub and that whole area across from the stadium.
That's
It was
awesome.
like
I love
it,
seeing that, man.
it was great to see. It was nice to see the Orioles get a win. We're 4-3 in our through our first 7 games. It's going to be a long
Thank God.
season. We got to buckle up the bootstraps and
That first series
get to
scared me,
work.
man. That first series freaked me out. You know, I was worried a little bit.
One thing I noticed about the Yankees, man, is that their lineup is not very deep. After their first like three or four batters, you really don't have a whole lot to worry
That's
about
how
in
they
terms.
usually. That's how they're always built.
I mean, but they usually have some decent hitters around six or
Yeah,
seven, maybe
yeah,
eight in the lineup, and that young shortstop they got, Volpe or whatever his name is,
yeah,
he's batting a buck 50, and they were
yeah,
touting him as the next Jeter,
yeah.
and apparently he's like one of the top prospects in baseball, and through the first 7 games he's hitting a buck 50, which is a very small sample size, but
And
anytime the
what's his
Yankees, you know,
what's his name went yard on us? The guy we cut. I thought he was gonna make the
oh,
team.
Franchi Cordero,
Yeah, Cordero.
Frankie Frankie Cordero
He
or
got
something
his
like that.
revenge. I was like,
A
damn, I had to
3-run
smile. I
bomb. He
smiled for a
smoked
second.
that. He smoked
Yeah,
that ball.
I smiled for a
Holy
second. He
shit!
deserved it. He deserved it. That was his little fuck
I
you
would have
back.
rather. I
Like
would have rather kept him than Ryan McKenna at this point.
probably, yeah,
I mean, McKenna is
probably.
just. I think McKenna is going to be a major league baseball player. It's just that right now, I would have preferred McKenna to not be on the 26 as opposed to him.
Yeah,
Uh, who had a pretty good outing again was CNL Perez.
he sure did. But hey, man, no, 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 no. Mateo's got to get talked about first. He's roking the ball.
He's hitting the ball well.
He's
I'm
hitting the
trying to talk
ball
about
well.
the bullpen's caught a lot of flack the first week, man.
Man, give
The
Mateo
bullpen.
his due. He's
I'm giving.
smoking the ball, bro.
I'll
The
give
shift,
him
the
honest
shift
due.
rule has helped him.
Absolutely, because now you got to play true defense
Yeah.
the way it's supposed to be played. The shift was a terrible
And
thing
he's a
anyway.
guarantee. And if he gets on first, it's a pretty fair chance he's getting a second real quick. I think he's already got like 5 stolen bases.
I think it's 5 or 6. I think he had 5 in Boston alone.
And his steals look easy, bro. It's like not even close.
Talking about giving people their due, Adley was looking great behind the plate today. He is.
Let a man steal third on him. Now I was a little disappointed. The throw was a little off.
It was a hair late, but he's
It was a
the
hair
real deal,
off.
man.
Yeah. Oh, of course. He's superstar.
He's a real
I'm
fucking
telling you,
deal, man.
Baltimore needs this. Give him a deal now. That would make people so happy, man. This where we don't gotta fight him in court at arbitration. Just give him some money, man. Like, come on.
I think it'll
The
get done, but
payroll's low as fuck.
I think he's got
I know he's here for a while. We got
does
control for him.
who's his agent? He's got like one of those super agents, right?
Yeah, I don't know who it is though. Somebody let us know in the comments, please.
I know he's got like one of those agents that does not like his clients taking deals early, unless it's like buku money.
How fuck you know?
Huh?
How you know?
Because it's documented. I think Rosenhaus is in the NFL.
Rosenhaus is the NFL top dog, yeah. Drew Rosenhaus.
Because Rosenhaus came out today.
It said, "Let me represent you, Lamar."
Yeah, he book Lamar as his next client, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We got some Lamar stuff to talk about. But I'm really, I'm on the Orioles hype train right now. Early on in the year, we're looking good.
It's fun to watch. That's all. Look, that's all we want.
Team.
It's all we want. It's a fun ball team. Look, they're still a year or two away, but they're just be competitive, just like last year. Just in it, we were in it till the last fucking game.
Ramon Urias is a monster third baseman.
He is.
Defensively,
that's why he's playing. That's why he's playing in the rookie.
The dude is like top 5 in terms of defensive second. Oh yeah, he won a Gold Glove last year.
Ken Wyman and Jason Lockenfor were arguing about this yesterday. Shit, Lockenfor were arguing about this the other day, like a shouting match, like because Lockenfor was saying they're hurting Gunner, not letting him play third, and Ken was like, dude, he was a Gold Glover. How can you take him out? Like he was the Gold Glove third baseman. Like he's the best third baseman in the world last year. Like how can we take him out? And he's like, well, it's going to destroy Gunner. He only gets one first opening day, and he was like, he played. He's the DH.
It doesn't matter how you get him. You need his bat in the lineup, and of course you want to get him reps. But the thing
he's going to eventually, man. But
Adam Frazier's playing well right now.
Yeah,
Adam Frazier's playing well. He's another veteran, solid addition. I think that he's going to be better than Rougned Odor, at the plate especially. So yeah, you can get Gunner in. You can get Gunner. The thing that I want to see them do is if you want to keep Mateo on the field and you want to keep Urias on the field, maybe you need to broach the subject of possibly putting Mateo in the outfield and putting him in right field. He can play right field.
Hell yeah, he could.
He has a speed in the arm for it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's fast not he's fast, but I'm saying I'm kind of like video game booking it, I guess. But if you want to get Gunner on the field at either shortstop or third base, you need to keep Mateo on the field simultaneously.
Yeah,
it's got to happen. You can't take Mateo off the field, and he's hitting the ball very well to start the year. So
stroking it, man.
You can't take him out of the lineup either.
Because that's the only knock on him is his bat. If this luck continues with his swing, he's going to earn himself a big deal somewhere. He's going to earn a contract because now he's the full package. Now he's shown that he can do both because that's his only knock. Because defensively, he's amazing. He covers so much ground, man. It's amazing. He's a hell of a fucking shortstop. And the fact you say put him in the outfield breaks my heart.
It does.
He's a hell of a shortstop. He don't deserve that. He might not want to do that.
But right now in the farm system, you got two guys that are
he's not going to be there long term.
Are ready made to play.
Yeah. And if he has a big all-star before the break, you may see him going.
I think it all depends on where we. I think it all depends on where we are.
It don't matter. I don't think so. I think he's still saying we're 2 years away.
This is different though. It's not like where we're still playing pretty well and we trade away Jorge Lopez and and Trey Mancini. I don't think that that's the case this year. Now, if we're kind of
Why?
like because I don't think you get rid of somebody like that while you're in contention. If you're borderline, yeah, take the chance and get rid of them. But if you have a solid footing before the All-Star break, you add, you don't subtract.
I don't think they're even in the win-loss stage yet. We're not even debating it.
I know we're not debating it right now, but I'm talking about if you're talking about mid-July and we're hovering around that first wild
We were in last year at
card
the
spots
All-Star
in
break.
New York or but the thing is Gunner wasn't up yet. Adley had only been up for a month, maybe 2 months. We didn't have the rotation that we have now. So it's different. It's different. It's a different situation. At least to me it is.
Yeah.
I like the direction we're heading. I'm firmly in the belief that one of these outfielders and one of these infielders that we have in the minors are going to get traded. I'm really thinking Westberg is the main guy that gets traded. I think he's going to be the package for some
Who?
type of pitcher. Westberg, Jordan Westberg.
Why?
I don't see at
What
all
about
the.
Hayes?
Well, I think Hayes would probably be part of some type of package
Mountcastle.
deal.
Mountcastle.
I want to keep Mountcastle. I something tells me Mountcastle has a bounce back year, and
Why?
he gets it right.
Why?
I got that feeling. I think that he's going to correct the the situation from last year.
He looks like Tarzan and plays like Jane.
I understand, but I don't think they're going to get rid of him that soon. I don't believe it.
I don't
Now
think he's the future at first.
you don't.
Nope. His bat's too inconsistent.
He might
And
not be.
he's okay defensively, but he doesn't cover a lot of ground.
Now I will say this: Mountcastle's been the most affected by the left field wall being pushed back.
Yeah, it's hurt him because he's got warning track power.
It's hurt him and it's hurt Hayes.
I'm saying, he looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. His bat don't have pop.
But if we can go
Not
to
consistent.
we're in contention in July.
You need your first baseman to be a ball knocker, man.
I know.
You need your first baseman to be a bully, the guy that gets hits.
Hypothetically speaking, still in contention come July, and we're ready to add. You can go to Milwaukee and try to pry Corbin Burns away, or you can go to Pittsburgh. You can try to trade for Brian Reynolds, a top tier outfielder. You could, and then I think Westberg is a focal point for any of these deals. I don't think they trade Kerstad. I don't think they're going to deal Mullins.
No, Mullins ain't going nowhere.
Right.
People say that are fucking idiots.
Cowser is a fan favorite, but he hasn't cracked the major league roster ahead of McKenna or Stowers.
Nope.
So
I like Stowers, man.
So do I, and I want Stowers to be in the lineup every day. He gets hot when he is consistently in the lineup.
He does.
I like Stowers. McKenna's hot and cold. I like McKenna though, even though he's hot and cold. I like McKenna. I think he's a solid outfielder. I think that he's one of those guys that you can DH or you can put in left or right. You know, I want to get Santander out of the outfield. He is below average in every aspect of the fielding.
Yeah.
But the dude can flat out hit. So he screams DH to me. I like
Hayes, man. I want Hayes going. He's just inconsistent. I was nervous when that pop-up went to him. Then in the game, I was like, oh, this motherfucker. It just seemed like he was running forever to get under that ball. I was like, oh, shit.
I would like to see eventually what I think is going to happen is either Stowers or Cowser is going to become our everyday center fielder. Not this year, but probably next year. I have a feeling that they're going to move Mullins to left field.
Why?
He's a little bit older, and I think the other guys got a little bit fresher legs. And the thing is with the fence being at 400 feet, where it is, you know,
the bold
Mullins has the range. I mean, I'm not saying that he's not good in center field because he's a fantastic center fielder. I just think that they're going to move him before they're going to move one of the young guys.
Probably. You're probably right.
And right field seems like it's no man's land out there. So hopefully Kerstad's absolutely raking in Bowie right now. Dude is hitting bombs, and I'm excited to.
Hey! Now you mentioned Bowie. Hey, rest in peace to Bubba from Bowie. He passed
Yeah,
away.
yeah, I heard about that on the radio.
How'd he die?
They just said he passed away. They didn't say anything in particular. But
Hmm.
yeah, we got a really good problem. We got a bunch of really good infielders and a bunch of really
A
good
lot of
outfielders.
talent, dude. We got voted the number one minor league system in baseball for a
We
reason. We
did.
got a lot of one of them good problems.
And then there's
Fucking
still guys.
loaded.
There's still guys
Once we
hanging
get
around.
hot, we're going to be hot for a minute. Hold on for a ride. We're going to earn another one of these. Something a lot of Pittsburgh people are nothing about rings. Championship ring. I can't get it on there. There
Oh,
we go.
there you go.
Oop, 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 oop. Yeah. Cal Ripken, too, because he was the greatest baseball player of all time, who was at the game today.
Well, everybody should have been at the game. It's the home opener. I'm excited for the outlook, man. I'm also digging the new schedule where we don't have to play all of our division opponents 19 times each. I like that
Yeah.
they're letting us kind of get around more, and it makes the division games more important when you don't have
Yeah, it's like it's all you play is the fucking
70%.
Yankees, the Blue Jays. It's like, damn.
Yeah, they mean more. Each series means more, and I like the fact that they're emphasizing that. Because
Yeah,
now every time that you play the Blue Jays or the Red Sox or the Yankees or the Rays, you gotta take 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4, however it falls. So I like the importance that they're putting on the divisional games. So
yeah.
I don't want to move on to Lamar just yet. Maryland made the news, yesterday, I believe. They're in the running right now for one of the top um, centers in the transfer portal. I'm
Hmm.
I'm looking up his name right now. Hold on. He apparently is supposed to be really good, and that'll help Reese next year. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I like
Willard's
the
a recruiter, dude. Willard's known to be a good recruiter, and he can coach, man. That's what I'm saying. I truly believe this dude, and happy birthday to him, by the way. And I truly believe this dude's going to get Maryland back to the championship.
yeah.
I think 4 to 5 years from now, this team's top 5, top 10 consistently, and you're gonna start seeing the Elite Eights. Last Sweet 16s, maybe a Final Four, and I think he's gonna get one, man. I really do. I think we got this dude's good. He's good, man. The kids fall in love with him. And look what he did with this team. He won a tournament game. He won a playoff game, right? Won a
Yeah,
game in the Big Ten with a team that's not his. He had one transfer kid on there, I believe, one or two. It was completely not Mark Turgeon's team. They weren't winners. They sucked last year. It was terrible, sloppy, ugly basketball. Uh, and he won with them, man. He won with them.
the kid I'm talking about is the center from Michigan, Hunter Dickinson. He
Yeah, yeah,
played.
yeah.
He
Dickerson. I
put.
read that.
He averaged 18 and a half points, 9 rebounds, and
Yeah,
1.5 assists a game on
yeah,
56% shooting from the field.
yeah.
So yeah, he's 7'1", almost 7'2". So if Maryland gets a legitimate big man to compete, we're going to be in business next year
We
for.
need it, man, because Reese with the fouls, dude, you can't trust him right now. I don't care what Willard says about that. He's just protecting him. You can't trust him, bro. Like that Alabama game, we had momentum. We were in control of that game. And when he gets in foul trouble, everything kind of went bad. He was playing well. He was, like he's got to be smarter than that.
Yeah, and the thing I wanted to touch on
Like
something about Dickinson as well. He went to school at the Matha, and Willard just hired his high school coach as an assistant coach, Mike
assistant
Jones.
coach, yeah, I saw that.
So we've got the Maryland, Villanova, and Kansas that are going after him pretty hard. And if Reese can clean up the defense, this is going to be, and they can land Dickinson. That's going to be a monster front court right there.
Yes, sir. I'll take that.
I'll take that any day of the week. That's prime. You know, that gives Reese the opportunity to be a true 4, maybe a stretched 4, and play a little bit more of a 3. And
Maybe.
he can work on his mid range and outside game to increase his chances to get drafted. And I saw that Maryland's swingman, the backup swingman Cornish, he entered the transfer portal. He's leaving the program, so we got a lot of influx coming in next year with a top 15 recruiting class. So I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to
It's
be
number
okay.
12. I believe it's number 12. If we get the center, it may bump it up a little bit. But right now, it's number 12.
Put us in the top 10 if we get Dickinson.
Which we're used to hearing because Turgeon's recruiting classes would always be 12, 9, 10. Like, they're always high, you know, but he just never won because he's stupid.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Willard can do with his guys.
Yeah, me too. See how his style of quick basketball.
And Jameer Young announced last week he was coming back for another year.
That surprised me. I thought the way he was crying, I thought his eligibility had run out. I guess not. I guess he had another year.
No, he's got one more year of eligibility. I think it's the COVID year.
That's right, the COVID year. Yeah, I was like, hey, oh shit, Jameer's coming back. I was happy.
Yeah,
I was like, hey,
he announced it. I saw the announcement on Instagram that Jameer was coming back. So to round off the show with the last segment, as always, the exhausting, never-ending saga of number 8, Lamar Jackson.
Don't even announce his number on this fucking podcast. I'm telling you right now.
So, since we did our show on Tuesday night, it was Tuesday night. Yeah, Tuesday night, bud.
Apparently, we got some quarterbacks in our top 31.
Yeah, we've hosted Anthony Richardson for a visit. We are scheduled to
I
meet
like
them
him,
again.
man. I know you got worries, concerns, but I like
the thing is, I got worries and concerns about every quarterback that's being touted in this draft. And I'll tell you why. Hendon Hooker from Tennessee, he's coming off a major injury. He's been banged up a lot the last couple years.
Yeah.
Will Levis is, I don't know any Kentucky quarterback that has ever been NFL. He's no different. He's a big dude, but at the same time, he's largely unproven. He's only got he kind of gives you Trubisky vibes. One solid year in college, and then being touted as a great pro prospect. CJ Stroud, I'm always skeptical about Ohio State quarterbacks, even though Justin Fields looks to be decent. Stroud's a great college quarterback. I'm always hesitant about Ohio State quarterbacks. And then Bryce Young. Bryce Young is 5'11" and 175 pounds. No, I don't want that behind this offensive line. It's already bad enough that we had.
Richardson is interesting, Matt. Come on.
But
he's Josh Allen. He's Josh Allen type. Come on.
I just every time I think about Richardson and they show him being this supreme athlete, he's doing backflips.
He's like Lamar on steroids.
That's all that's cool, man. All that's all well and good. But I always go back to his combine. I watch him throwing the ball. Deep ball looks beautiful. Throwing the ball down the middle of the field looks beautiful. He's got touch on his mid and short range throws. All that's well and good. And then they had him throwing from the hash marks to the sideline, outside the numbers. And it gives you deja vu all over again because we just saw this shit with Lamar Jackson. A lot of are behind, high, or they sail. He wasn't like, okay, before we had Lamar Jackson, for 10 years, we had Joe Flacco. And Flacco had enough of a cannon to where he made the outside throw look easy.
He just flicked it.
He flicked his wrist and it got over there in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Before that, McNair had an arm. McNair can make all those throws. And to a certain degree, Kyle Bowler, he can make throws. He just couldn't read a defense to save his life.
Oh, man,
So
Kyle had a fucking cannon.
he had he had an absolute fucking rocket launcher for an arm. And now Lamar's got a strong arm too, but the thing is, he doesn't have the touch. And then when I see Anthony
He
Richardson,
don't know when to float it, when to throw a line drive.
and when I
You'll
see
be like, what
Anthony,
the fuck you
and the thing
throw
is,
like that for?
I've never been a quarterback at any level of football ever.
Hell
I
no,
bl-
thank
I
God.
I blocked for him. I blocked for him. I
Thank God.
didn't take. Fuck you too. But
That would have been a shit show.
it takes a shit show to know a shit show, right?
Yeah, what they say.
But I don't want if we find a quarterback that's not Lamar Jackson, we got to find one that can make those type of throws.
I think he can do it. I think you're just judging the combine, but ain't looked at like his college actual
No,
games.
I looked at his game film and
And what?
he's
What you find?
streaky. He's streaky. I looked at his highlights. He's streaky. He's either really on or he's completely off. And I just if we're gonna I hate to say this, I want to find a quarterback option, somebody that is going to not fuck up, not turn the ball over, and that can make the throws when necessary. We got a world beater at quarterback right now. Lamar feels like he's got to do everything. And to be fair, he's
You
had to
realize
do.
when you're describing Richardson, you're describing Josh Allen. I'm just
That's
hearing Josh Allen.
but the thing is that's lofty. That's
Josh
lofty.
Allen.
They're comparing him, but just for his size. There's no other linear aspects except for size and deep ball. That's it.
And he can
Al,
run.
okay. We've had that the last 5 years. I love the fact that that's part of Lamar's game, but I want a fucking quarterback that is going to make the throws, make the reads, make the throws. And because right now I'm the farther we're coming away from the NFL season and into the off season, now I was watching NFL Network yesterday.
Yeah.
And I know it's unfair to watch guys like Mahomes and Allen and Burrow and say, "Oh man, I wish I had that." When you got Lamar Jackson, the throws that they make,
Yeah.
you just want a smidgen of that in Baltimore. And that's where it begins and ends. Mahomes is unfair to compare to because he is an absolute freak in nature. We might not ever see another quarterback like Patrick Mahomes ever again, at least in this generation.
Yeah.
There's no quarterback like him before. He's an anomaly in terms of the professional quarterback.
Yeah. You're right.
Allen Allen
Can
is
be
one, and the thing
inaccurate
is,
at
I
times.
put an asterisk. He can be inaccurate, but the thing is, I put an asterisk next to Allen because Allen didn't produce until he had Cole Beasley, Emmanuel Sanders, and Stephon Diggs catching passes for him. It took it
Diggs
took.
wants out. Apparently, I read. I don't know if it's a rumor or not.
He's a crybaby, man.
He
He's
is. He's a
unhappy
little.
where he's unhappy
Ever he is.
wherever he's at.
Like, how are you not happy there? He gives you the ball like nonstop. Like,
He
what else
throws you
do
the
you want?
ball 14 to 15 times a
Are you
game.
so upset over the playoff game? Like, bro, only one team goes happy, man. Goes home
I
happy. And you
you're
got a
right.
better chance of probably getting a ring with Allen than you do a lot of quarterbacks. Like, you got a decent shot of getting one. Because I feel like Allen's going to get one. I know you don't respect the man. I don't know why. He's just he's fun to watch, man. He's fun to watch.
I'm not
I'm a
saying that he's
fan of
not fun.
Josh Allen.
I'm not saying he's not fun to watch,
And I
man.
don't know why you think he's not good.
Think back to the first
He's a
3 years.
slinger, man. He just slings it.
He's a gunslinger. No, I get it. I hear you. But if you line up him and Lamar, they were in the same draft class.
Yeah.
The only difference between Allen and Lamar Jackson is that Allen started all of his rookie year.
Yeah.
Lamar came in week 9. That's the only difference, Josh. But
And Allen's won some playoff games, but
right. And the thing is, when it came down to it, Lamar did more with less and won the MVP. But on the contrary, like you said, Allen wins in the playoffs when it matters. And now you got Burrow and Mahomes. It's a loaded it's a loaded quarterback scene. That's not up for debate in this at all. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that give me somebody that's got more of the attributes of a guy that can make every throw when necessary instead of the guy that feels like he has to run and put the team on his back literally and figuratively. And my biggest worry right now is that
Why does he feel that way though?
because he hasn't been given in his eyes he hasn't been given weapons. But you got a top 5 tight end and we have outside of trading for DeAndre Hopkins,
Yeah.
anytime he's asked for help, we've drafted him help. And the thing
Yeah.
is, it just doesn't always work out. He wanted Hollywood. We passed on DK Metcalf. He wanted Hollywood.
Yeah.
He wanted a Hollywood. And Hollywood didn't produce until his last year here. And a lot of it has to do with the offense. I'll give you that. We ran a very juvenile passing offense.
Yeah.
It
Sad.
was proven fact, especially over the last 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Teams had figured it out, and he couldn't adjust it because
I,
that's all
I
he's got.
I just have this nagging feeling. I have this nagging feeling that in my bones that the Ravens draft Stetson Bennett. At some point in day 2 or 3, they make him a Raven. He's not going to
What
go
makes you think
undrafted
that?
because if they do end up trading Lamar at some point between now and the draft,
Hmm.
it would make complete sense for them to bring in the quarterback that ran Todd Monken's offense for 3 years and won 2
Yeah.
national championships.
Yeah.
If you can, they've missed out on every veteran quarterback you can get at this point. Their only options at veteran quarterback are somebody like Gardner Minshew, who will not start here, or you go to somebody like Tennessee and you trade for Ryan Tannehill.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
I wouldn't be opposed to it either, but the way it looks right now, it's either going to be Lamar or Tyler Huntley or somebody that we draft, and it would not shock me as if they drafted Stetson Bennett.
Why? Because just the continuity.
The continuity, he can make all the throws that Todd Monken needs him to
He's
make
small though, man. He's small.
for his offense, and that's the trend though. A lot of these Anthony Richardson's the biggest quarterback in the draft.
Yeah.
So it's the way that they're
But
trending.
the Georgia quarterback, what's his Colt Bennett? He just reminds me of like Trace McSorley too much, man.
But I think he's a little bit bigger than Trace McSorley. I think he's a little bit bigger. But something tells me even if we draft Stetson Bennett, I don't think that they're going to draft him to start. But I think that they would draft him to push Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Huntley's team if Lamar's gone.
Yeah,
He's got all the
but the thing is,
experience and
it's Huntley's job to lose. It's Huntley's
yeah,
job
of
to
course.
lose. And if you get the $33 million off of the books, it changes the whole dynamic for who you can trade. And it's funny that we're talking about Lamar and all this. Our intro video features one guy that's not a Raven anymore in Chuck Clark, and then
Calais.
two Calais, and then 2 other guys that are rumored to be trade bait, which is Lamar and Patrick Queen. I wanted to kind of touch on Patrick Queen too because
You could tell at the press conference yesterday, Eric and Harv seemed to be not in a happy mood. Neither was Chad Steele as he was yelling at all the reporters, man.
yeah,
they did not want to hear any Lamar questions. They both looked really frustrated.
The minute
Harbaugh looked like a robot,
they
man. He
heard
was
the
just
first,
like, and why did we do it so early? Like Rich Eisen picked up on that too. We still got like a month before the draft. We're like the only team that's done their draft press conference.
I think the thing is we got 5 picks.
Yeah, but why do it so early? It's weird.
They don't want to do this shit right now. Yeah. They don't want to do any of this. You can tell Eric and John did not want to be on that stage yesterday.
Hell no. Their tone did not look happy.
Harbaugh and Eric, they both looked so agitated.
Yes.
And the thing is, because they can't say what they want to say.
Yeah.
Because at this point, the ball is solely in
And they're
Lamar's
both
court,
always trying to say the right thing. Like, yeah, Lamar's gonna
and
be
that's
our starter. He'll
exhausting.
be here.
That's
Huh?
exhausting.
Yeah.
Lamar is not only the focal point of local radio every day here in Baltimore.
National. I've never seen the Ravens talk about this
It,
much.
it's ESPN, it's Fox Sports. He is front and center on at least one of those shows for a huge segment every single day.
Every tweet
Wait,
analyzed and overanalyzed. Every Facebook post overanalyzed. Oh my
Marcellus
God, he's wearing a
Wiley,
purple shirt. Like,
Marcellus Wiley, Robert Griffin, and Shannon Sharp keep him in the news cycle.
yeah.
And the thing is, they analyze everything that he's doing. And right now, I think that they're all sick and tired of it. You're not going to hear Bisciotti comment on anything. That's just how it is. I think they're all fed up. They want to end this. They either want this man to sign, or they want this man gone. And
I think they're
honestly,
just tired.
I
I think they probably feel like all of us. Like, they just want it over. Like,
not
if
only
somebody gonna
that,
make them an offer and let's just get what we
did you
can get.
did you get the vibes that Harbaugh and DaCosta are on the same page?
Oh yeah, yeah. They both looked uncomfortable, like they didn't want to be sitting next to each other. There's
Exactly.
been rumors over years that them two battle. Which
And
isn't, it's not crazy news. Like a lot of
and
GMs and
and
coaches,
they're and the thing is
because the coach has to coach the team that the GM builds. The coach really, people think the coach really builds the team, unless you're like Bill Belichick and you're both, GM and coach, which is crazy. And they're not always going to eye to eye.
you're right, and it's frustrating. I'm pretty sure that there's tension there, and I'm almost
It's
positive that
destroying our franchise,
it
Matt.
is, and
Let's
the
call it what it
tension
is.
is
Stop beating around the bush.
this is
It's like it's
pure
caused bad
chaos.
shit,
It's
bad reports, it's
pure
bad press,
chaos.
bad press. The Ravens are leaking shit to be an asshole. He's leaking shit to be an asshole. Like, Lamar won't admit to anything. Like, he's acting like he's just perfect in this whole mess when he's not, because he's being an asshole and leaking shit. And the Ravens have been assholes at points, leaking shit. And it's sad because at the end of the season conference, Eric said it would be terrible for the deal, like if Lamar would leak stuff and we would leak stuff. He was like, that's not going to help anything. When, a few weeks after that, you turn around and the Ravens are leaking shit on him, like what they offered. And
The thing that bothers me
like, why
about
wouldn't he
this,
take the 3 years, 133? Like, I would have took that. And then you bite the apple again for even more.
the thing that
You just
irritates
made
me about this whole thing,
$133 million, dude.
the thing
It's
that
crazy.
irritates me about Lamar, the one of the biggest things that irritates me about Lamar, I understand the contract negotiations are supposed to be secret. They're supposed to be behind closed doors.
Yeah,
With
it's
all this,
personal.
with all this being aired out, and as much as he has responded to people on Twitter, as much as he's posted cryptic shit on Instagram stories, he has not. And the thing is, he doesn't have an agent. He has not come out and said what he truly wants.
He just says, I don't want a fully guaranteed contract. That's not true. Okay, you just want $250 million guaranteed.
As part of a $300 million deal.
Yeah,
And at that point, you're
and
talking.
and hold on, and you don't want the money spread out, to help our cap like most players do. Brady did it for years. People think, oh, Brady plays for nothing. No, Brady got paid a lot of fucking money too. Brady was just move his money back to allow the
And
space to open, and he would let his money spread out. Like, he wouldn't, he'd put some of his bonus or some of his salary into his bonus, a bigger bonus, and take a cheaper salary because the bonus doesn't affect the cap as much as the salary, and he would do shit like that, but I he wants it all at once, apparently. It's just
and
greed, I feel, at this point.
I think
For a
I
guy
think
that made a claim on LeBron James's barbershop show that he wants to be a billionaire. Like, you turned down a lot of money, sir.
Here's the part of me that wrestles around with the whole contract situation. I believe part of it is greed. I believe part of it has to do with the NFL Players Association has been in his ear so much because their end game
They're
for this
using him.
whole thing, yeah, they're using them. The NFL Players Association's end game is to for every player in the NFL.
Yeah,
That's what they want at the end of the day because they see that baseball, basketball, and hockey
of course.
have all fully guaranteed ironclad contracts.
That would be terrible for the league.
It would be terrible for the league, but and here's the thing that I also think about. I think that Lamar Jackson has enough self-awareness to where he knows that his style of play mixed with his injuries, I think he knows that's not sustainable. So he's probably feeling like right now, this is his one and only chance to secure the biggest contract he possibly can. So hypothetically speaking, and here's how I'm gonna justify that thought process. Hypothetically speaking, he gets a 5 year deal from somebody, whether it's Baltimore or elsewhere. He gets a 5 year deal. Midway through that 5 year deal, he takes less money and he has a catastrophic injury. Then all of a sudden you're 28 and you can't run anymore. You're 29 and you can't run anymore. Then you got to be a solely converted traditional pocket quarterback and you still have the deficiencies throwing the ball that you do now. So in his
Yeah. And I
mind,
believe that's why he wanted, when the Ravens said, all right, you want 270, we'll give you 270, but you can't get hurt. You got to win, two playoff games. That you got, and then he said no. Maybe he thinks he can't do all that.
they predicated a lot of his money tied into incentives.
Yes,
And
they
if
did.
any and
And it pissed him off.
if you have an agent, they can explain that to you.
Yeah.
If you have an agent, they
He
can
just hears, oh,
explain it
the
to you.
NFLPA's in his ear going, no, don't sign that.
Right.
They're going to
And
screw you out your
then
money. You get hurt.
we've had two former Ravens players on this show that have said that they reached out to Lamar and they even told him to not step on the field without an extension.
Yeah.
So it's not just the Players Association, it's former players. And I'm not blaming them because at the end of the day, they did something that 0.03% of high school football players do, and that is make the NFL. And not only that, an even smaller fraction of a percentage of their players that have a Super Bowl ring. So yeah,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying. So as much as you want to not side with the player and you don't want to side with the team and you want to try to look at it objectively, they played the game. They know what they put their bodies through, and Lamar is putting his body through punishment, getting hurt for extended periods of time now, and he only had the security blanket of his rookie contract.
Yeah. I get
And
that. Well, Dan Wilcox, when he's on the show, explained it like that. And
I mean,
I
he explained.
understand this point.
You're
But
right. I
and
did.
I get that, but that's the past. We're past that though. We're here now. The Ravens have made fair. No wonder they look so fucking miserable because they've made fair offer after fair offer to this prick, and he won't fucking sign it. And they're like, "What the fuck? We can't move on. We're froze. We haven't made any fucking decent moves. We signed a
He
nobody receiver from the Patriots who I'd already forgot his fucking name.
Nelson
Like, come
Aguilar.
on. Like, we got guys on the roster that I want going. Like, Prochet's still on the fucking roster.
We're not going to see a lot of the roster shape up until
Yeah, we can't do nothing. We're
honestly the training camp
froze.
at this point.
Yeah, we're froze.
And the thing is, if we go into the draft and Lamar's still our quarterback, we're gonna have no choice but to trade out of 22.
Oh yeah, because we're gonna have to get some picks.
We're probably gonna trade out of the first round completely to recoup a midday a second round pick this year, and probably try to snag somebody's first round pick or second round pick next year because there's the trading formula and numbers have got to match it for the values and all that. There's a point value for every pick. So, yeah, this is going to be ugly if we go into the draft not knowing what we really need because we got less than $8 million in salary cap space right now.
Yeah.
6 of that is going to be eaten by the draft class. So we're going to go into the off season with more or less $2 million in available cap space. You have essentially exhausted every possibly can. The only thing that is left right now is to start extending guys that you really don't want to extend to free up money now.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to extend Zeitler. You're gonna have to extend Matabike. You're gonna have to probably trade Patrick Queen for a draft pick or two. And it's not going to be high draft picks. It might be a third. It might be a fourth. Hell, it might be a 3 and a 5 or a 4 and a 6 for Patrick Queen, because his numbers jumps this year in year 4. And it's
I would trade Queen definitely. I mean, it was nice having those two linebackers hold down the middle, but Roquan's got it without Queen, obviously. You know, I think Harrison can play that role nice still.
I think they like the kid
You
Ross.
can get a high second, maybe a high second and a fourth for Queen. Shit.
I think they like the kid Ross from Michigan, the guy that they stashed on the IR. I think he knows
my guy. I wanted to make the team last year.
Yeah, you did. You were talking about that in preseason.
Yeah,
I will give you that.
Because right now, Queen's a luxury. He's not a must. Look, the minute Roquan signed that $100 million contract, Queen's fate was set here. And he was done here.
They're not going to invest $40 million a year in 2 linebackers.
Fuck no, that'd be crazy.
They're already investing a lot of money in the
Eric went
secondary.
after that Philly corner Slay. Was it Slay?
Yeah, Slay.
Like, bro, that's hilarious. That's such an Eric move. I'd have been happy though. And he said it was a big offer. They were about to lay the fucking hammer and go after Slay. Yeah. Said he almost was
now
a Raven.
The thing is, he did, and he gave Philadelphia a chance to match it, and that's more than you can say for a lot of things, and a lot of people, and right now one of the players that's being affected by this whole Lamar situation is Marcus Peters. I want Marcus Peters back. I don't care what anybody says.
Because I think he's going to be bigger and stronger. I think he's going to be more healthy. Another year away from
he's going to be a lot healthier. He's going to be a hell of a lot healthier going into this year. He's going to be a full off season removed from the ACL tear. It's going to be a lot different, and I think somebody's going to get a hell of a good cornerback if we don't sign him. He's still young. I think he's like 27.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to because now who do you start opposite Marlon Humphrey?
I think that's why they were going after Slay.
I mean, we don't know if Jalen Armour-Davis is going to be ready. Pepe Williams is banged up. Daryl Worley's more of a dime or a nickel cornerback.
Hey man, Worley was playing his ass off.
He played, but do you trust Worley to start 17 games?
Fuck no.
Okay, there's your answer.
Yeah.
You don't trust.
No, I know. I agree. I want Peters, but it would have to be a prove it deal. Like, come on, man, come for 1 year, $6 million. We'll take care of
it. It would have to be something like that, and let him go cash in somewhere else.
Like,
a year closer to 30.
Earn your name back. This is the NFL. What have you done for me lately? We understand you're working through your injury last year. You still played well. We still think you're it, and we're going to give you this, and then you get back to more what we're used to. You maybe we'll extend it. Another $50 million.
I hate this as a Ravens fan, and with us doing the show, having to cover it extensively. Lamar is holding us hostage.
Yeah, the whole team, man. I was telling a guy I worked at today. He was like,
"It's a stick up, man.
It is.
This is an old.
Right now, the Ravens are winning, but yeah, he is. He's fucking everything. We can't really do nothing.
We can't do shit.
There's a lot of rumors Hopkins maybe getting cut. Like, are we going to make an offer? I know we made an offer to OBJ. Ravens fans, Chili Will on that. It ain't happening. He is not coming here. He don't even know who the quarterback's going to be. He'd be stupid to come here. He
if
was using
there's
the Ravens as bait.
the only way he comes here is if Lamar Jackson's our quarterback, and
Exactly.
he knows it, that it's
Exactly.
already this is worked out, that the longest term deal is worked out, or that he has signed on the franchise tag.
Yes.
Then you'll
Lamar's
see
going to be here. It's the
OBJ
point.
have a higher chance of signing here.
Yeah.
But
Of course.
like you said, he's using us.
Yeah.
It sucks. It really sucks. But that's the situation we're in. And the thing is, DeAndre Hopkins is going to hit the free agent market if nobody trades for him.
Yeah.
And I can honestly see him doing what Juju Smith-Schuster did, and go into a place like Kansas City or Buffalo or New England for a 1-year prove it deal, and then cashing in again next offseason.
Yeah.
He's going to want a shot at a ring because he's never sniffed a championship game, let alone a Super Bowl, anywhere he's been.
Yeah.
That merger with Kyler Murray failed spectacularly, and he had Watson early on, and they were getting smoked in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's tough. It's really tough. I don't know how you
It's
maneuver this offseason.
it's going to ruin next year it's going to ruin next year. He doesn't sign. He ain't going to sign it till he has to. So what's that, week 10, which is a stupid ass rule. Uh, he's not going to sign it till week 10. And then why would if we're having success, why would you even put him in?
You're right.
Like, nah,
You're
but we don't need you.
Yeah.
But you're still going to sign this fucking paper so we can trade your punk ass.
I don't know, man.
It's just crazy
It's
how Lamar's
frustrating because
image
I feel
has
like
done a 360. Because you remember, like, MVP year, like, it's all about Lamar. Ingram was pumping him up. You heard all these nice stories about him, and he's running into reporters on the sideline and saying, "I'm sorry, miss knowing him by name." And he's going into Seattle like, "I want the ball coach to win the game," which took balls and heart. And now his image is like greed, and people are kind of like, once the hospital let out. Yeah,
he's he's now seeing the ugly side of the dirty business that is the NFL. And the thing
yeah,
is, a lot of players know about it, but they're shielded from it because they got their agent negotiating for them.
yeah.
Now he's sitting at a table
It's a business.
across from guys that he's won 75% of the games that he has started in his career.
And they're
And
saying, guess what, Lamar? You only got one playoff win, bud, here in Baltimore.
yeah.
We win.
So he's got the GM that drafted him, he's got the GM that
No,
scouted
Ozzy
him.
drafted him.
Ozzy drafted. He has the GM that was head of the scouting department before he took over that role, sitting across from him at a table, telling him every reason why he is not worth that guaranteed money.
Yeah,
That is a hard pill to swallow.
yeah. And then he's saying, well, you ain't put shit around me. And he's saying, well, you could be
Look
standing on
at
the Bay Bridge
the
and throw the
draft.
ball and still not hit the fucking water.
Yeah, but that's going to wrap the show. We'll be back next week.
Yeah,
We'll have some guests on the show. Still trying to lock down Tavon Mason. A good friend of mine, Chuck Banks, will be joining the show hopefully next week at some point. He is the NFL Players Association Baltimore chapter president, newly
What's
elected
he on?
president. He'll be on the show next week, hopefully.
Nice.
He is a coworker of mine, and he was a running back in the 1980s for the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Oilers.
Wow.
So he's
And he's still involved in the NFL?
the Baltimore chapter of the president of the NFL Players Association.
Wow.
Every city has a
Yeah,
chapter.
representative.
Yeah, they have a chapter where players that retired that live in those cities are active members of that chapter.
Oh, okay.
So Ray Lewis lives in DC.
Yeah.
He's part of the DC chapter.
Okay.
He lives closer to DC than he does to Baltimore. I'll say that much.
I thought he went back to Florida.
No, he's in the DC chapter.
Uh,
So like in the Baltimore chapter, Ray Rice, Jermaine Lewis is in there.
that's right.
Harry Swain's in there.
What do they do?
Uh, they do charity events. They raise money. They raise awareness for, certain, different charities and organizations they donate their time to. So we'll have Chuck on the show hopefully next week. Hopefully Tavon
Still
Mason will be
trying to
joined.
lock down Adam Jones back.
Yeah, we are still trying to lock down Adam Jones for a date, and we got some surprises we're working on, but we'll leave it at that.
And if you ain't seen the Dan Wilcox interview, go back and check that out. I feel like I did good work on that one. I'm proud of it. I'd like
I'm proud of you
people to
too,
go back
buddy.
and watch.
You're getting better.
I'm a big fan of Dan, and that one got my nerves a little bit. Him and Pollard are the two that starstruck me a little bit because I'm a fan of Dan Wilcox. I loved him when he was here, man. I always knew Heat was good, but I was never like a Heat guy. Heat was kind of like for girls. Girls wore Heat jerseys, and Wilcox was just gritty, and he was the guy going over the middle and taking hits, and he was passionate, man. He got married at M&T Bank Stadium, and he's just. And I forgot to ask him about that. Damn it! And they had it on the news when he got married. I watched his wedding on TV. But that's my favorite interview. Check that one out.
That'll do it, folks. Josh, go ahead and shut it down, man.
We're gonna shut down the cave. I'm tired as a motherfucker. I got work tomorrow for a couple bit, and Julia's got all kinds of shit, so we're shutting it down. Turn us off. Pause us.